Well, for more than 200 years, the U.S. military has sent young men and women into harm's way to protect the American way of life. No one ever suspected the biggest dangers they might face would be here on the bases that they live in on American soil. Fort Hood sits on more than 200,000 acres of Texas Hill Country, straddling Coryell and Bell counties. It's also a city unto itself, with a population of more than 53,000 people, -2 recently. The deaths of Private First Class Vanessa Guillen and Private Second Class Gregory Morales have focused a storm of controversy on the post. Fort Hood leaders would only say they've been ordered to submit to a review by an inspector general of its sexual assault response program. So we turn to two veterans who spent years at Fort Hood. Keith Sled of the Heart of Texas Defense Alliance calls Fort Hood safer than most U.S. cities. He never thought of the post as dangerous.
At Fort Hood, no. I was never worried about my wife's safety when I was deployed, when I was stationed there.
But on the other hand, a retired Master Sergeant, TACEY Brown, believes the disappearance of Private Guillen in particular shows a failure of leadership.
To see how the story played out makes me wonder, where was the leadership that should have been there with her? Because you don't go in the arms room by yourself. It's not a one-person thing.
Others agree. The League of United Latin American Citizens called out Fort Hood, calling it unsafe and urging Latin American women not to enlist in the military because of what happened to Guillen. Retired Master Sergeant Brown believes heads should roll over Guillen's murder.
But what I'm saying is, everybody that was involved in this, from her squad leader to her platoon sergeant to her section sergeant to her first sergeant, her commander, all of them, there is something you did not do.
Maybe so, but it will take an investigation by the military to find that out. Sled has confidence investigators will find those responsible, but he says it will not happen quickly.
The Army always wants to be thorough and wants to know what happened with its soldiers. I think they will get to the bottom of this. Unfortunately, it will never be as rapid a process as everyone wants.
Everyone seems to agree that while dangerous things often happen on Fort Hood, they target the enemy, and that any thoughts of murder of a U.S. soldier, let alone two, well, they were just unthinkable. One question we want to know the answer to: did Guillen and Morales know each other? So far, we don't have an answer to that question. Today's events may help speed a portion of the investigation into Guillen's murder, but her death and that of Private Morales will raise many, many more questions in the weeks and months to come. We're live on Fort Hood tonight. Dennis Turner, 25 News. Back to you.